Since the invention of the television, humans have been obsessed with one thing: getting on it.
So are you excited about the backyard ramp?
I'm so stoked, my dudes.
Cheap base! Cheap base! Oh, baby.
Oh, there we go. Got some of the hooligans having some fun out there. There it is.
And despite the rise of streaming platforms over the last decade or so, there's still this small, weird contingent of esports fans who want to see their favorite pros and games on cable. But few have asked the question, why? Why do people still want esports on TV when all it's given us is cringe?
Thank you very much for your time, and we're gonna send it back to you guys right now. Oh, yeah, you can dab me up. Shake my hand. Yeah, I'm not gonna leave you hanging.
Disasters?
I went from owning a law firm and owning Complexity, selling both to pursue the esports dream, to being unemployed in a state that I wasn't even licensed to practice law in.
And angry boomers.
This is just, it's video games. It shouldn't be on a sports network.
Okay, boomer.
However, year after year and failed venture after failed venture, esports continues to find itself as a sideshow on out-of-touch TV networks.
Oh, have a look at him. Not the normal sort of football following type, but nevertheless very good when it comes to pushing buttons and going left and right. Well done, boys.
Why the hell does this keep happening? People have been trying to put gaming on TV since basically the beginning of gaming itself. The earliest shows were even focused on the competitive aspect of playing games at the arcade or with your friends. Starcade was the first, and it bizarrely pitted adorable children against the casual Friday Crypt Keeper.
Harry, it looks like you have a total of 3,624 points.
What a revolting development.
Starcade ran for 2 years and led to a whole genre of somewhat awkward video game TV shows, which, for all intents and purposes, are the predecessors of the modern esports broadcast. In Britain, there was Games Master, which was named after its terrifying monocle-wearing cyborg judge, who evaluated contestants on their ability to play Sonic the Hedgehog in the Vatican of vaping. And in Canada, we got our very own Baby's First Esports with Video and Arcade Top 10, a show that really quickly became about which kid could throw up the most aggressive gang signs.
They called me a madman. I'm a survivor.
If you can't tell already, this era of TV gaming in the West was basically a breeding ground for cringe. Across the Pacific in Korea, though, people were experiencing something pretty different. Korean TV channels like OnGameNet and MBC Game broadcasted StarCraft matches with truly incredible intros, costumes, and elaborate sets. Like, where the fuck are these dudes even playing? It's like the 90s came to life and designed a throne room for Satan. Why is there a dude frozen in carbonite back there? Why are their chairs so big? And why are they made of tentacles?
That's disgusting.
And as the years went on, televised StarCraft in Korea got even more opulent. Stages got bigger, intros got crazier, and the game's biggest star once entered the arena by getting off a private jet. Even though costumes were gradually toned down, certain players attempted to make things more exciting by tearing them off on air.
We're good! Streaky! Yes!
By the late 2000s, the West began to notice the commercial success of competitive gaming in Korea, and they wanted a piece of that pie, which led to the Cyber Athlete Professional League, better known as the CPL. Not long after that, the World Series of Video Games managed to get their own grand finals onto cable, before shuttering because of how much it all cost. That was followed by the MLG Pro Circuit, which spent $6 million broadcasting Halo for 2 years before being canceled and realizing that streaming was cheaper and easier anyway. Despite all the cancellations, things were exciting. People in the scene felt like competitive gaming was being taken seriously by traditional media outlets. The way they saw it, TV could help validate esports and make it even bigger. But all that was undone by the Championship Gaming Series. The CGS was a televised league run by DirecTV with funding from News Corp, and it featured franchise city-based teams with truly terrible logos.
Graphic design is my passion.
The CGS featured a number of big esports names that are still around today. Guys like Henry G and Fallen played CS in the league, and even Red Eye was involved as one of the show's hosts.
And Birmingham Salvo's 4th pick of the UK 2008 draft, Picasso.
But as promising as that all seemed, the CGS ended up as a multi-million-dollar atomic bomb of an investment that almost wiped North American esports off the map in 2008. So where did they go wrong? Well, on top of featuring mostly unpopular competitive games, it also didn't offer a really enjoyable viewing experience either. Just look at this. They're spectating Source in third person. And if that wasn't enough reason for CGS to die, its cringeworthy commercials definitely were.
I wasn't able to accomplish what MetMyMatch.tv did in just one quick and easy personality profile. She was a few levels higher than me when we first met. But let's just say that she's helped me gain a few experience points.
Once the financial crisis hit in 2008, CGS was no longer a worthwhile investment for its owners. And because the tournament series had gobbled up most of the great players of that era, other tournaments in the West had already faded. Without those grassroots tournaments, the death of CGS basically killed esports in North America for the better part of a decade.
Sir, there has been a murder, and you are a suspect.
Okay. Hang on just a sec. Let me settle in, and I'll be right back.
Very good, very good. Now, no one was there in the wine cellar.
Esports on TV just never really seemed to work. The ratings weren't quite there, and the rise of streaming platforms like Twitch boxed the boob tube out as competitive gaming became increasingly popular.
It's okay. It's dead.
Hell, even we tried. Way back years ago when theScore was a TV network, we aired esports, and then we stopped.
They're looking at it through their own eyes, and they're looking at it through their legacy assets. And they're saying, just because stuff worked this way for us with other sports, let's make it work that way for esports. And it doesn't.
By the early 2010s, TV was on the way out. A generation of young people turned to platforms like Netflix, Twitch, and YouTube for entertainment. And a lot of what they were watching there was esports. But that didn't stop major TV channels from trying to get in on the action. In 2014, ESPN ran a documentary on TI4. The next year, they aired Heroes of the Dorm, a college Heroes of the Storm tournament, which led to outcry from fans who were angry they couldn't watch it on Twitch like the rest of HOTS Esports. But really? Who was watching HOTS Esports?
I don't know why you people are watching this shit anymore.
By 2015, TBS got in on the action with E-League, and ESPN was broadcasting EVO. Now, between ABC, Disney, ESPN, CBS, the CW, and TBS, we've had Overwatch League, FIFA, Madden, Rocket League, Injustice, and the Nintendo World Championships on TV at various points in time. But the thing is, if you go by the ratings, none of this exactly lit the world on fire. The most viewed esports program in 2019 was the Overwatch League Season 2 Stage 2 Grand Finals, which picked up 505,000 viewers on ABC. That's a lot better than it did on Twitch, but it preceded an NBA playoffs game, giving it a bit of an unfair shot in the arm.
ABC. Yes, that's Winston. Yes, that's Hanamura. Yes, it's 4 p.m. What the hell is going on?
Outside of that miraculous incident, the rest of the OWL ratings for the year on TV were a lot less flattering, and especially low for their time slot. And it sort of makes sense. All watching esports on TV gets you is more ads, less community interaction, and the inability to go watch pornography on the Artifact channel when things get boring. And the funniest thing about all of this is that the people who are being exposed to esports on TV the most are the people who don't want any of it in the first place.
It's a game.
That's not a sport.
That's not a
sport. That's not a sport.
It's not a real
I want to
sport.
talk about the 20 million people who are watching the damn thing.
And the money
They
that
gotta
they're
be
making.
crazier than the
they're
ones
paying big money to watch it.
And yet, for whatever reason, there's still some esports fans out there who get excited whenever a new televised broadcast production is announced. And honestly, I think I get it. They're still desperate for validation, just like we all were all those years ago.
In theory, anyone that does tune in on TV is probably someone that probably wouldn't tune in via Twitch or YouTube or anything else. So I don't think they're incompatible. I just think we were focused way too much on gaining acceptance via mainstream TV, and we don't need that anymore.
Esports fans want to be noticed and accepted by mainstream culture. And for some reason, a lot of them think that being on TV accomplishes that. Well, I'm here to tell you that it isn't. In fact, live TV is quickly becoming a pop cultural fossil, a relic of a bygone era. Esports is already a huge industry, and it's still growing. We don't need to be on TV to make people take us seriously. If anything, consistently streaming on Twitch is how you build an audience these days. But let me let you guys on a little secret. While we were working on this video, I started to think to myself, how could you make an esports TV show that bangs? And I think I figured it out. It looks a little something like this.
OverExplained.
Since the invention of the television, humans have been obsessed with exactly one thing: getting on it.
Dan, what the hell have you done to me?
Shut up, don't you want to be famous? Oh, this old man. Yeah.
Continue to destroy your
Oh my god, Miles, this is the hardest work on theScore Esports, is this. The fucking position you have to take to be on camera for this. Nobody gives Miles enough credit for this, because I didn't fucking know until right now. The hardest working man in YouTube, Miles Hackett. Oh my god.